Well, so yeah, as I said, I'm Terry, working the community member participation team here at our co-op, working hard with my team to bring you, our members, close to the business you own and the products that you love. So tonight's event is being recorded for those who couldn't make it. So if you do prefer not to appear on the recording, you can always leave your camera off. Also, please try and stay on mute. The setting hasn't worked for some reason, so it will cause a few disruptions. So yeah, please stay on mute. You can also find the recordings for our events available on our YouTube channel in case you want to watch any of them back yourself. I'll be sure to share the details in the chat later. But tonight is all about two of our favorite Italian wines, our Co-op Soave and our Co-op Chianti. So tonight we're joined by Gyles Walker, one of our Co-op wine buyers, along with Massimo, the winemaker for Fratelli Martini, who makes these wines in Italy. But for the first time at one of these online wine events, Massimo is here with us in Manchester, and you'll get to see him in a second. So quickly, the running order for tonight is Gyles is going to start us off with a quick introduction to these wines at Co-op. We'll then bring in Massimo to talk a bit more about these bottles, where they come from and how they're made. Then it's into the tastings. So Gyles and Massimo will be taking us through these bottles, offering pairing suggestions, tasting notes, and how to get the most out of tasting these wines. But don't worry if you've not got the bottle yourself. There will still be lots of interesting things that we'll be covering. Following this, we'll get into the Q&A. It's your chance to ask these experts anything about what you hear tonight or anything about wine in general. As we go through the event, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and we'll be sure to pick them up and ask them on your behalf later on. When we do get to the Q&A, you'll also be invited to come off mute at that point and ask your question yourself if you prefer by using the hands up function on Teams. So the hands up function is in a different place depending on what device or browser that you're using. So it should be easy enough to spot. If you do have any problems trying to find it, let us know in the chat and we'll do our best to help. We're going to end the event with a quick fire question for one lucky member on the call to win a bottle of each of the wines covered at this evening's event. So make sure you're paying attention. We're hoping to be done by 8:30, but we've still got some questions to get through and people are happy to hang around. We may stick around a little bit longer. So if you give me a second, I will now going to hand over to Gyles.
Good evening, everybody. As Terry introduced, my name is Gyles. I'm one of the Co-op wine buyers, and I have the great responsibility of buying the Italian wine range for the Co-op. And it's fantastic that Massimo is here. So I want to introduce the winemaker for Fratelli Martini, Massimo. I have dragged him into Manchester to work today. We have been working this afternoon on one of the wines that we're going to be tasting, and we'll touch on what we were doing earlier. But it's great that you could join us. It's the first tasting of 2025. Kept it to February, so those of you who are doing dry January, we've supported you as much as we can. Hey, it's time to try some great Co-op wines, and we've chosen two wines which are really widely available. Great feedback over last year's tastings as you wanted to try some wines which are really easily available. These two are very much in high distribution within our stores. And we're also thinking about value. So these are great value wines. I love working with Massimo and Fratelli Martini because of the consistency and the quality, the affordability and the value that they offer. And hopefully you'll taste those today. So Massimo, I'm going to hand it over to you to run through these wines, the Co-op Soave and the Co-op Chianti, and let me know if I can help you with any of the questions or any support. But welcome. Thank you very much.
Good evening at all. First point, sorry, but English is terrible. So have some patience for me. So my name is Massimo Marasso. I am a winemaker to Fratelli Martini. Is more than 30-year work in Fratelli Martini. And my experience in Fratelli Martini is especially in Piemonte area, because the headquarters of Fratelli Martini is in Piemonte, where we have a cellar in Costano Belbo, in Barolo, and in Gavi, where we produce Gavi, Barolo, and other varieties in Piemonte. But don't produce only Piemonte wine, but produce all the wine in Italy. So my experience started to Sicily, Puglia, Tuscany, Chianti, Emilia-Romagna, Veneto, especially the Soave, and Piemonte. This evening spoke about Soave and Chianti because it's a very important product we sell, produced for Co-op. We are very happy to collaborate with Gyles for this project because it's many year work in this project, and I am happy not only from a winemaker, but also for the relationship I have with COP. Need to speak about the wine now. The wine, before start, spoke about Soave, the white. Okay. Soave is a very important wine from Italy. Come from Veneto area, and the Soave soil start to east of Verona to east part of Italy. Soave is a big quantity of hectare. In this moment is 6,300 hectares in total area. Is made in 13 towns, and every year more or less produce 40 million bottles. All the Soave. Soave is a Soave and Soave Classico, but the biggest is Soave.
Is that one of the biggest white wine producing areas in Italy?
In Italy, produce Soave?
Yes. Is it one of the largest?
6,300 hectares is a very important place. Chianti, for example, is more.
Okay.
But Soave is for the white wine in Italy, I think is the third. The first, I think, is Prosecco, Pinot Grigio, and after Soave. Soave is the grape of Soave is Garganega grape. The disciplinare explain minimum 70% of this grape, and it's possible to use also Trebbiano di Soave and Chardonnay 30%. But for the Soave COP, 90-95% is Garganega. Garganega is a simple variety, but have a bigger potential. The potential is power when it's possible to keep the grape in correct time and make the correct vinification. This is the most important because the winemaker for make the wine is important, but is important the grape. Sometimes the winemaker can mistake the wine, but if the grape is good, come good the wine.
Not something you do. You avoid. Okay.
Thank you. Soave explained in the east city of Verona, and the soil there are some part volcanic soil and some part calcareous. Each soil come to the wine different testing. Some the terroir come from volcanic soil. Normally is more mineral, more acidity, and the other have more fruit. So it's important to make a good wine, not 5 bottles, but a lot of bottles, have a good mixing of this part. And my job is this.
Perfect. So you have two sort of different styles of Garganega in Soave, and then yes, you can make those into the blend.
It's important for vintage time every year because every year is different. It's important come in the area, check the situation, check the area better every year, and when it's vintage time, make the different vinification. This come from volcanic soil, this come from calcareous soil, this come from hill, and every year is important. End of the vintage, make a correct blend because it's important to have a wine good every year.
And that's what really amazes me is the variety. Yes, it's of flavors that you can get from the different situations the vineyards are in. It's pretty much the same grape variety, but there are lots of nuances and changes from those
Yes,
vineyards.
very different, no, the same wine, but different testing is important. For make a good wine, explain is the grape, but is work well. Work well is know the grape, know the soil, know the terroir, and have a good relationship with the seller for make this wine. It's important to have a good partner, good technology in the winery, because especially for the white wine and easy wine, because Soave, in my opinion, the success from Soave is because the easy wine is drinkable all.
See,
with what you want.
You're teasing them. We're gonna have to get to a tasting soon.
Okay, no, it's better. I spoke some word about the Soave after test, so explain what I want to explain.
Of course.
Soave is important. Have a good partner and make a correct vinification. Correct vinification is keep the grape immediately put in the cellar and go in winery to press, because the grape come in the winery, go in simple pneumatic press or take out the liquid and separate from the skin. The liquid come from the press, go in one tank, make a little clarification with enzyme, and in few hours, the juice, speaking this moment is juice, come limpid, come clear. When it's clear, racked in another tank, and need to make a fermentation alcoholic. Fermentation alcoholic is made from yeast, so it's important select every year the correct yeast, because every year is different. It's not mathematical, the wine is difficult. Put the yeast, increase the temperature between 14, 17 degrees, and start the fermentation. The fermentation is the process work with the sugar in the juice and come alcohol. This moment is very important because we maintain the temperature control for 10, 50 days for finish the fermentation. And in this period, come out all the perfume the grape had.
Okay.
It's important because it's possible to lose all. It's very moment critical.
And you can lose that because of the heat of to control, possibly the wrong use of the yeast, and all those factors.
Especially if the yeast have some problem, don't work well, is the same as if don't stay well, don't work well.
Yeah.
It's the same. And so it's very important moment when the fermentation is finished, racked, the liquid now is wine, because when juice is with sugar, when fermented come wine, racked in another tank in steel, stay some month in contact with the lees.
Okay.
It is other important point.
Fine. And so the wine, so it's made wine, you've racked it, but it's still in a stainless steel container, and it's still in contact with lees. What is lees again?
The lees is the rest part from the yeast.
Right. Okay. So
the yeast died.
Yes.
Come lees.
Comes lees. Fantastic. And that's what does that contact with the lees do?
Contact is maintained in the tank, and every 2-3 days, 1 week, mixing for take the lees come down on the tank and put in the liquid for increase the volume, increase the power, increase all the wine. Is important also for aging. This moment.
So it gives greater richness and weight to the taste.
Exactly. After when this moment is finished, before go in bottle, The liquid for Soave DOC need the ministerium control what I make. So take a sample, make the analysis and the testing. If the testing and analysis was correct, it's possible to bottle and take the banderole for control every bottle. Okay. This is an important point. Every bottle has a certificate controlled.
And this piece of paper, the banderole, you see that on the back. So this is the guarantee from the ministerium that this is the right quality for that wine. And so it's very important for the quality of Italy.
And the stupid paragon, but 1 kilo of grape, 1 bottle, no more.
Yes, okay.
It's important.
So it's not, it's about the quality control of what's being produced.
Control all the process and all the quantity come from the vineyard. And when you are the okay from the ministerium, and my okay because the wine is correct for COP, I take the wine, come in Cossano Belbo, in our headquarters, and bottling. Before bottling, the wine need make the tartaric stabilization because no need to have the tartrat in the end of the bottle. This is the crystal.
Yes.
Tartrat.
Yeah, and that's always an interesting one because if you don't take the tartrates out, yes, you can sometimes get crystals, can't you, forming within the white wine.
Cooling the
especially
wine
when they cool down.
Yes.
Yeah.
We cooling in the winery the wine below -4 degrees. This precipitation in the tank, not in the bottle. After a little clarification, but very easy for cleaning the product because I don't want to take out all the substance are in the wine. Very slowly. In filtration and come in the bottle and all the wine are filtered 0.45 micron or take out all the yeast bacteria are in the wine because the wine is live, not dead, but no chemical support, only filtration.
Straight filtration, okay.
And now I think is better to test.
Ah, yes, indeed. So we're going to taste the Soave. I hope you've opened the bottle already, but Massimo will try. Which vintage have we got that you brought today?
Today I take the 24 vintage, so it's just bottle.
Fantastic.
Just bottle, because starting bottle end of December is wine. Want to test?
Yes, please. Made me very thirsty listening to you there, Massimo. Grazie. So what, when we're tasting this wine for a Soave, what aromas are we looking for?
Aroma 24 vintage in this moment, flower fantastic. White flower.
White flowers, yeah.
Immediately. Some zesty of agrumi.
So yeah, the lemons we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Yeah. So Massimo was talking about some large lemons that I've never come across, but are obviously Italian, and it does have a citrus aroma to it. So I'm definitely picking up some of that citrus sort of lemony fruit on the nose.
Citrus, yes. And when I recognize the Soave, because a lot of years I work in the Soave, when the Soave come old, some taste of almond, but this is the characteristic of the Garganic grape.
Fantastic. And that's a really interesting point. So we are on 24. I know in some stores, possibly there's some 23 around. I know my local's got a slightly older vintage as well, but I've tasted them, and yes, that aging is really good. It makes the wine just a more interesting, more richer style. Hint of almonds, you say?
In fact, a lot of people like to drink the last vintage.
Okay.
Because it's more fresh, more fruity, more easy, but not need to drink always the last vintage. If you have the possibility to maintain also this wine 1 year, in this case, you drink a 23 vintage. It's fantastic because comes this almond aroma.
How
More
long?
interesting.
How old do you think you can this Coop Soave could last? Is it 2-3 years? Or?
2 years, sure.
Okay.
No problem. No problem. My opinion, more.
Okay.
Have also a good advantage, the closure.
Screw cap, yes.
Screw caps. It's advantage for the white wine.
So you like that? Because why do you like the screw cap?
I like screw cap because the wine when are in bottle, are closed, don't have a problem. Sometimes cork, some oxygen possible to come through the cork, and the cork is natural. It's not possible to understand what's happened. The screw caps, sure.
Fantastic. Excellent. And what would you so back in Italy drinking Soave?
Yes.
What occasions would you drink Soave? What food would you?
Soave, in my opinion, is one of the wine is possible to drink a lot in any case. It's possible to drink aperitif. I have at home 3-4 friends open a bottle of Soave without food, no problem.
Okay.
So because of low alcohol, 10.5.
Yeah.
Is a good point. Is after with aperitif, pizza, fantastic. Fish, because it's light, don't take out of the food.
I've gone and pinched some of these spinach and ricotta tortellini that we sell at the Co-op. So I think this is in a buttery sauce. I think this would go really well with the Soave, because you've got that freshness, haven't you? Which will cut through that the sort of the pasta and the weight of the pasta.
Yes, but it's hour to lunch. Now I am.
Oh yeah, I'm getting you hungry now. Am I? My apologies. I'll put it back.
In the test is delicate. You recognize the same fruit in the noise now in the palate. Light mineral. The palate some dry taste, and it is important, in my opinion, for the white wine because the palate when it's dry need to repeat the test. Yes,
so it's basically it encourages you to try another sip, doesn't it? Because of the crispness and freshness that it's in your mouth. It's mouth watering. So yeah, you want to just try another sip and another glass.
Another glass to understand better.
Another glass. Yeah. Okay. With some more food.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, it's a great wine. Thank you, Massimo. It's really good. And 24. Yeah, that's a spot on vintage.
And is in a drinkability fantastic. This wine, very easy to drink.
Excellent.
Not impegnative.
I like the fact that it's 10.5% alcohol as well. So it's a nice, light, fresh style, perfect for as you say, an aperitif, that starting style of wine, but goes with many occasions, as Massimo said. So that's a great white. Okay, do we follow on to what we got now?
Change region?
Yes, let's swap. Okay. Let's get into some of the workhorse, which is one of my favorite styles of Italian red wines.
I think Chianti are one of the most famous wine in Italy. Not only now, but I think 20-30 years ago, when a lot of Italian wine, the people don't know, Chianti, the people know. It's one of the first important wine the people recognize. Chianti comes from Tuscany region, the middle of Italy, but I think the people know where is Tuscany, because tourist or wine knows sure the Tuscany region.
You've got some amazing cities there, haven't you? Firenze, Siena. So it's a beautiful part of Italy.
All the history in Italy, born in Tuscany and in Rome. So all the people know this area. And Chianti is more bigger compared to Soave area.
Okay.
Because it's more or less 10,500 hectares, the total superficie, total hectare of produce of Chianti, and produce normally every year 50 million liters of wine for make Chianti. Some year more, some year less, depend from the
sunshine, the rain.
The rain.
Yeah.
More or less, this is the quantity. Is produced not in all Tuscany, but only in 6 provinces.
Okay.
The biggest is Florence, Siena, Arezzo, Prato, Pistoia is the biggest area. And in the middle of all the area of Chianti, there are the Chianti Classico. But all the Chiantis are around, not in that area.
Okay.
It's the same. There are also other 8 subzones, and it's possible to find Chianti Rufina, Chianti Pepoli, other little part, but the people know Chianti.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest.
Would you say there's obviously we're going to taste the Chianti, but would you say there is a variation between the subregions of Chianti, especially Chianti Classico?
Chianti Classico have a disciplinare different compare Chianti.
It's very okay.
But the other sub add 8 region, the characteristic is different because the same Soave, different soil,
yes,
different wine.
Again, so these subregions have got the different soils producing the different characteristics.
Yes, it's important for me to produce Chianti Cop. Take some part of the best of this area for make the mix and have a very good Chianti.
Excellent.
Because Chianti is not easy to make a good Chianti because there are different areas. So it's important come in the area, know very well the area, and make a correct blend for Cop always. And Chianti, some study recognize the Chianti, the first wine named Chianti, born in the 1400 DC.
Okay.
Some study come famous after because have the DOC in the 1968 appellation DOC and come DOC in the 84 because it's not Soave is DOC wine.
Yes.
Chianti is DOCG wine. Is not only controlled but also guarantee.
Okay.
More control.
So there's more control over Chianti and obviously getting that important banderole.
Different banderole because of DOCG.
So there's, but it's a higher standard being DOGG compared to the DOC of the Soave.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. And Chianti, the grape, it's important to talk about the grape. For the law, minimum is 70% Sangiovese grape.
Sangiovese.
And it's possible to blend it with 30% with other variety recommended in the area. But same in Chianti, Soave, now the biggest part is Chianti. In the Chianti is Sangiovese.
Okay.
In the Chianti Cop, more than 90% is Sangiovese.
Sangiovese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why use more Sangiovese compare other variety? Because Sangiovese is a typical varietal from Tuscany, and I think is very important for the consumer recognize the variety when test the Chianti, because if you put in the Chianti 70% Sangiovese, the rest Merlot, Cabernet, other variety, come international wine. We want the people recognize Chianti, and if like this style, come back to the supermarket to buy.
Yeah, the typicity. So you're looking after carrying on with the typicity of Chianti.
Pieces of Chianti come from Sangiovese is the test, because it's not a wine with a lot of body, but have a spice. The medium tannin come from the Sangiovese varietal. So Sangiovese, not spoke always, but Sangiovese is the grape from Brunello di Montalcino.
Okay, yes.
The parent.
Yeah.
And for me, is correct maintain more Sangiovese is possible to recognize Tuscany. So, talk about Sangiovese. Is simply wine, but with a lot of potential. Is important, I explained before, mixing the grape come from the different area for make a correct blend. In Soave and in Chianti, before vintage, I go in Tuscany, select the area, make the vinification. The vinification is in red, is not in white. What is the difference? In red, the fermentation is with the skin. So the grape crushed, go in the tank with the skin, put the yeast and start the alcoholic fermentation. The alcoholic fermentation in Chianti normally is minimum 50 days in contact with the skin. When the fermentation is finished, take out the skin from the tank with racket the liquid, and put in other tank. The different process to white wine, red wine, apart the alcoholic fermentation, is the malolactic fermentation. What is the malolactic fermentation? Is the transformation to acido malico, malic acid, in lactic acid. What is the difference? Is the lactic acid is more sweet, is more drinkable.
Is it creamier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Sorry, my English. And in this process, also the acidity go down a little, so it's more easy to drink.
Okay.
It's important the people know the fermentation alcoholic is made from yeast, the malolactic fermentation from bacteria, and are natural in the grape. Need only stay in the tank at 18-20 degrees for start this process. Fermentation alcoholic, malolactic fermentation, bracket at the tank, because it's important the vinification, all the process are in clean area, in clean tank, and not a lot the dirty part from the fermentation stay at contact, because it's possible to take no correct test bracket, stay in the tank other 3-4 months.
Okay, and that's a stainless steel tank?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Chianti is in inox steel tank.
Okay.
Ministerium, sample, analysis, testing, is okay. Put my blend in Cossano Belbo and start the bottling for coffee. Very, very easy.
That's so you mentioned, I think, a couple of times. So Fratelli Martini, their bottling line or their winery you're based up in Piemonte.
Is in Piemonte, a very important bottling line, not only for the number, but for the technology, the cleaning, the service, and for produce. The winery is alimentary industria.
Yes.
So important. The winery are perfect for the standard for alimentaria.
Yes. If you like stainless steel and glass, then, then a winery is the perfect place to go. Yeah, a bottling line.
So we are specialized to make this type of work, filtration, purification, bottling, for a constant quality, a serious process.
You must travel a lot. Based in Piemonte, but you obviously go down to, you've got strong relationships in Chianti and Soave and across all of Italy. So
I need to travel a lot.
Yes.
But I like it. I like it. It's experience.
Fantastic. Shall we get on to try? Perfect.
I think is correct time.
Okay. So what vintage have we got?
Now test the 23 vintage.
Okay. Fantastic.
3-4 months it's ready 24, but in this moment maybe it's better to drink Chianti 23. Is correct timing to drink a red wine.
Fantastic. So one of the reasons Massimo is here is because we are actually doing a vintage approval for the 2024 vintage. So we were doing this afternoon. Massimo brought some 2024 for us to try. And this is a really important relationship we have with Massimo and all our suppliers, is that continuation of quality that we have. And tasting and doing vintage approval is to me one of my important roles as a wine buyer, to ensure that the quality is still there. And I think with a little tweak, I can improve the 2024 vintage. It's almost there.
Yeah.
But let's try this one. This one is the one which is out in store at the moment. So 2023. And what was 2023 like as a vintage?
Every year is different. I explained many times. 23 compared to 24 is climate is better. A lot of soil, good temperature, little dry for the raining, because the water in Italy 23 have some problem because don't have it. So less production, very low production of product. 24 rain more, production constant, and in the glass when you test today 23, 24, there are some different.
There are some variations, yes.
Different, yeah. But we have a time to 24 coming, so 23.
Another 3 months for 24 to come on. So
now
we can work on that.
Very fruit.
What are we expecting to taste on this 23 then? What's the aroma? The color, of course. Red wine. How could I forget?
The color is red. Started to come garnet.
Garnet, yes. Sort of not quite red brick, but that's
red.
Purple to garnet. Yeah.
But it's normal. Sangiovese is not a grape with a lot of color.
So it's not a thick-skinned grape variety?
Yes.
Or is it thin or thick?
With the skin that is maintain this color with the contact with the skin.
Yeah.
But the Sangiovese grape don't have a skin very dark compared to some other variety. So when found Chianti black, it's not normal.
So this is the typical color you want, like that garnet. Okay, and on the nose.
This moment perfect to drink. Drink a lot with the noise, spice, a lot of spice. Mint, pepper.
Yes, and that sort of, for me, the sort of red cherry, hint of cherries. There is the fruit, and this is one of the reasons I love Sangiovese. don't confess it much. I have a slight sweet tooth, and the nose of that sort of black cherry with that savory spice really. I mean, my mouth is watering before I've tried it.
But in this moment, when I know the Chianti and I see salame, I think that needed to open immediately.
you want some food with this one, yeah. No, I definitely think the co-op salami is a perfect match for this. I've brought along also our wood-fired pizza, the salami calabrese as well. I think this is a fantastic match to go with this Chianti. So that's going to be my Friday night treat. But let's taste this wine. Apologies, I haven't opened up the meats afterwards. Yes, yeah. Please. When we turn the cameras off, okay, we'll go through the meats.
The palate it's savory. Correct balance, tannin balance. Not green.
Right tannins, yeah.
Right. Sweet tannin.
Yes, that sort of cherry, but that's
important, but sweet.
And you say savory, again, sort of herbal kind of character to it as well, especially on the finish.
Why I like Chianti? Because it's not a wine with a body extreme.
Yes,
it's elegant.
So it's not like Cabernet Sauvignon, which has got lots of tannin, not like Syrah or Shiraz, which has got lots of alcohol and ripe fruit flavors. This has got a more, as you say, a savory character. I think for me, it's the I can taste or feel sort of layers of tannin. There's not one sort of blocky dryness.
Oh, exactly.
There are sort of layers of that
block the palate.
Correct. So there's kind of those layers of tannin, and I always think that's a great thing to have in a red wine, which is fantastic with food. Because another great variety that has that is also Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir, you can get those layers of tannin in there. So another great food wine. Right, this is good.
Chianti Sangiovese is parent with Pinot Noir and Nebbiolo. Elegant wine, spice wine, tannin correct, easy to drink.
What's the alcohol on this one?
12 degrees.
That's
not so many alcohol, but you know, in the palate, the alcohol does not come out. It's not. Don't have a problem with the alcohol because it's very soft.
So there's no heat from that alcohol. And you heard a bit of surprise in my voice there. It's 12 because to me it does taste bigger because of that flavor and that tannin and that savory nature.
It's possible to drink one glass more.
Don't tempt me. I got the train home, so it's all right. Yeah, so for me, it does taste bigger than a 12% alcohol wine. So great balance, long length, savory. Yeah, a wine I can drink on its own, but yeah, with these cold meats as well. Fantastic. Well made. Really good. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you both, Gyles and Massimo. Really enjoyed that. The chat's been popping off. We've got lots of engagement from our members. So if you don't mind, we'll jump straight into the questions, if that's okay.
Far away.
Well, so our first question comes from Rachel Good. So before I get into the question, I just want to say a big thank you to Rachel for hosting a satellite wine event tonight. She's hosting a group of court members in their local area to stream this stream it in their local area so they can all watch together. They're drinking the wines, they've got some snacks. It looks incredible from what I can see. So Rachel, thank you very much for organising this. I look forward to seeing more of these in the future. Anyway, so Sharon, who's part of Rachel's, asks, when you do the sample analysis, what is it that you're looking for?
In the analysis?
Yeah, when you're doing the sample analysis.
Yes.
For the wines, what is it that you're doing it for? What are you looking for? Is there anything you're trying to?
In the ministerium part.
Yes.
Ministerium, the sample make the alcohol, the level of sugar, don't have a lot of sugar because it's not Chianti, the acidity because the wine have a disciplinare. Disciplinare is a range where the wine are inside. Minimum alcohol, minimum acidity, so they're doing minimum extract.
So they're doing all chemical checks. So they're breaking down are they using like centrifuges to check to spit out all the elements and check that it matches up with what the quality should be. So that sounds like a lot of paperwork as well. So
it's important, but it's security for the consumer and also for us, because the seller work well. It's important, in my opinion. Have all the analysis from the Ministero before going to the bottle. It's a security for all.
And there's traceability where the grapes have been sourced from and how they've been vinified, etc.
Where it come from the grape. We are all. When you know where comes this wine.
Yes.
I explain the cellar, the bottling, the cellar where it come, and also the vineyard produce the grape. All trusted.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. The next question is from Paula, who asks, we know we went over the pasta and stuff for the Soave, but are there any kind of snacks that you would also recommend to eat while you're drinking the Soave?
Well, I didn't have time to. I've got a whole smorgasbord of things over here that I got from our store. I definitely think the olives are great snacks with Soave. Soave, I also think maybe sort of fresh anchovies as well, because it's really good with seafood as that crisp lemony style of light wine.
Yes, because clean the palate.
Cleans the palate, yeah.
Because when you eat fish, is important. The white wine clean the palate with the salt, the minerality have inside.
Excellent. And don't forget, it is a great aperitif as well. It's, I'd say, 10.5% alcohol. When we get that sunshine back again, it's not far away, he says, a few months. It's a great picnic wine. It's fantastic when to have al fresco at if as you're getting into your barbecue seasons as well. If you do go to Verona, the main city of close to Soave, there's nothing better than sitting in Piazza Bra,
Bellissimo.
having a chilled glass of Soave, listening to the swifts screaming over the top, and looking at some of the fantastic Roman buildings that are around there. So I'm like a tourist board for Verona. I urge you to go.
Fantastic. We are getting calls in the chat for a Soave and pizza deal, Gyles. So that's your next one.
See what I'll go and talk to the pizza buyer. See what we can do.
Well, so Sarah and Jackie have asked, how cold should the Soave be served?
Oh, great.
Temperature.
Great question, Massimo. What temperature would
service?
Yeah.
Cool, but not so cool. In my opinion, the white wine 8 to 12 degree maximum is correct, because it's go below, it's too cold. You lost all the fruit are inside in the wine.
That's a great point. One of the things we possibly have is some of our fridges can be too cold. I've got a fridge where I keep some of my wines, and I've got it at 7, just to maintain and to make sure the quality of the wine stays as I keep them for a couple of years. But I do bring it out of that fridge if I'm going to serve it. I bring it out of that fridge about half an hour beforehand to allow it to warm up, as you say, to 8, 9, 10, and then it's just right, because it's about getting that freshness, which is coming from the style of the wine, as well as the chill of the wine. But you want that flavour to come through, and that's where the wine does need to just warm up from your fridge to really get that weight and flavour through.
Right.
Thank you. So Ben, who's part of Rachel's group, asks, how do you make it lower in alcohol?
That's a good question. So
great ones today.
Obviously, alcohol is very much related to the sugar in the grapes, because it's the fermentation of that sugar which produces the alcohol.
Yes.
So as the winemaker, how do you get that balance right?
It's important to have a balance from the sugar level and acidity level, because it's possible to have a 12 degree, but we have a low acidity, and the balance is not okay. And it's important for make 10.5 alcohol, keep the grape in time, or have a correct quantity of sugar for arrive at this level of alcohol, but also a good acidity for maintain the freshness in the palate.
And that's a great point. This is obviously working with the vineyards, the vineyard owner, the viticulturist, because deciding when to pick the grapes really has an important factor on this.
I explained before, the winemaker can mistake the wine, but if you have the grape correct, you make a great wine.
Fantastic. So when you're deciding to to harvest the grapes,
1 week change.
Yes.
In 1 week, especially in September, especially in some year, a lot of temperature, you change completely the wine.
So more temperature, then you get more sugar, riper, less acid. So the final wine becomes, you've lost that freshness and becomes more weighty and flabbier.
In the time need to keep the grape.
And that's what I find fascinating about winemaking, because it is vintage to vintage. And these wines do have variation. We've tasted it today. And it is very much down to the skills of Massimo's contacts, the vineyards, and then the decisions you make on the harvesting, and then how that flows through into the winery.
And follow every day the fermentation with the children, the same every day.
So these are your little children. You yes. Keep an eye on them. Fantastic.
Dan and Selena ask, can we expect to see a Co-op Chianti Reserva?
Crikey, someone's reading my mind. Yes, well, another reason why Massimo was here. We will be going through some range changes this year as a category. And we're looking to bring in some new products throughout this year to keep it exciting and fresh. We've got a small little range window coming up in the next couple of weeks where there will be some great new products coming into store. In fact, one of them is from Fratelli Martini. It's going to be a pink Pinot Grigio, but it's actually, we've called it the Co-op Irresistible Pinot Grigio Ramata. I think we got that right. Good. Because yes, Ramata is the proper way of making a pink Pinot Grigio from Friuli.
Yes.
It's about skin contact, because Pinot Grigio is generally a white wine, but it's got a little sun blush on it, hasn't it, on the grapes? So you have a great skin contact longer than usual, and that color comes into the wine, and it gives a lovely pink tinge. Can go orange, and I believe this is where the orange wines are made in a similar kind of way. Less.
Not orange wine. No.
We're not going into that one, but it's it's Ramato, so watch out for that one. But we do have a range of another bigger range window coming in, which will be near the end of the year, and I am looking to make some changes on Italy. Talk to Massimo about what some of those could be, as well as some other suppliers, and there is definitely an opportunity for some of the levels of Chianti that we offer to bring in. Make sure we do have a Chianti Classico. Make sure that we do have another Chianti that we can also in between the Chianti Classico and this Co-op Chianti as well. So watch this space. You've obviously been reading my notes.
Okay, so it's 2026. So at the time, so I will ask one last question, and then we'll move on to the prize draw question. Then I've got a couple more things to finish off with, and then we can be finished. So the last question is from Sarah, who again is from Rachel's group tonight, who was asking, how is climate change affecting the Italian wine scene?
The climate?
Yes, so climate change. So is there any impact that you're seeing with?
I spoke a lot about the climate change in general. It's true, but this is my opinion. My opinion is a timing, because the story explained in the 1922 in Italy, non make a vintage for dry year.
Yeah. So a drought year, was that?
Very dry.
Yes.
No rain.
Okay.
The same in the 22, especially in 23, is very dry. My opinion, some part there are change of climate, but I think also is cyclic. So I think not a lot of attention for the climate, for the sustainability, for the all, but there are some cyclic moments.
So cyclical movements within sort of the weather aspect, the weather being over, say, 3, 6, 7, 10, 12 years.
Yeah, 20
Okay.
years, 30 years.
Yeah.
Is
what I find fascinating with Italy is obviously you think about the geography of Italy, that coastline, it's a huge coastline, and you're going from the Alps down to Sicilia and Sicily. Oof, it can get hot down there, and I think Sicily, they are seeing a bit of stress sometimes from the heat.
Yes, 24 vintage, terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. Not for the grape, the quality. The quality is fantastic. No quantity.
Mm.
So dry, no rain. It's a disaster. Every year is different.
So I think some of those southern areas are definitely seeing a bit of impacts from that sort of temperature heat, but they are adapting, changing the grape varieties, more drought resistant, moving the vineyards sort of up the mountain, so it's cooler. So trying to offset some of those changes.
Is the theory and the people come to put the vineyard more height level for this reason. But I am worried for 20 years. What's happened?
Yes.
It's possible this vineyard have a lot of problem because low temperature and the grape don't come to ripe. Is Natura is not mathematica.
No. But you're a weatherman as well as a winemaker and a viticulturist and everything else, as well as a gourmet, as well as appreciating great wines and great foods.
At this moment, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Massimo. I say
Sorry, my English.
No, I perfectly understood yourself. It's great you've come from Piemonte to Manchester to come and talk to everybody and tell everybody about these fantastic wines. I hope everybody's really appreciated tasting these wines and listening to Massimo talk about that passion, because these are why we love working with passionate winemakers who are proud of what they're doing. And it's great to hear you're proud of what we are selling under our co-op label. So ideally you've tried those and learned some things. Now I think there's a question. I've given a few hints to what the answer is. So hopefully we'll get it. But
the way it works is it's whoever writes it in the chat first correctly is going to win a bottle of each.
So which Italian region is Fratelli Martini's winery based in? Mentioned it 3 or 4 times quite recently, so spelling will be interesting. So Massimo, thank you very much for coming over to Manchester and trying these wines. Looking forward to, as I say, I've got a range of your wines now to try with some others to see what changes I'm going to make in the Italian range this year. But I'm also looking forward, ideally, to coming out and seeing you in Italy sometime this year to come and see your base, which is based in. The answer will be.
Just lost it. It's I've just messaged the person saying they've won. There we go. It's our winner is, sorry, it keeps moving too fast, the chat. Catherine Jane Evans has won with the correct answer of Piemonte.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait to come and see you in Piemonte, but also Vinitaly as well, which is something I look forward to, and don't know if you look forward to it as well.
Sure.
Vinitaly is one of the most fantastic wine fairs that is organised. It's in Verona. It's about 4 days. Yes, Massimo's face will give you why he doesn't like it. But I love it because I get to see all my suppliers and taste all these great wines and see some very passionate people and see what else we can find for the range. So thank you very much once again. Thank you, Massimo, for cheers. Chin chin.
Thank you, Gyles.
Thank you for coming along. Thank you, Rachel, for organising down at your end. Thank you, everybody else, for joining in. hopefully you'll join in the next one. We've got one in, when's the next one?
I'm just coming on to that now.
Good. Okay, I'll hand you back to Terry, but cheers all.
Thanks, Giles. Thanks, Matt. Well, thanks for spending time on your trip over here to spend a bit of time with us on this. We all really appreciate it. Catherine, you're going to see my email address in the chat in a minute. If you just drop me an email to let me know that you're the one who won, we'll be able to organise getting the wines out to you. I'm going to paste some more links links to the product pages for the wines, links to the YouTube channel, where you can find the recording of this event in a couple of days, in the chat in a second. But we do have another wine event that's coming up on the 12th of March. So it's Wednesday, 12th of March from 7 o'clock. Back at our normal time for 7 o'clock next time. And we're going to be covering Corp Irresistible Côtes de Provence with our producers in France. So the booking page isn't live right now, but if you do drop me an email on the email address I've just put in the chat, asking me to let you know when it's ready. As soon as it's ready, it's likely to be early on Monday. I'll be able to drop you a line, let you know that it's live, and you'll be able to book onto there yourselves. So other than that, I just want to say a massive thank you for everyone spending their Thursday evening with us tonight. We have had over 100 people on the event, and that's without including all the people in Rachel's room as well. So more like 110, 120. You can see them all giving us a big wave. So yeah, I just want to say thank you all, and we hope to see you at a future one. I'll leave the call open for another minute or two in case you do want to make a copy of any of the links or anything in the chat that we pasted. But after that, I will end the call. So thanks once again, and we'll see you at a future event.
Arrivederci.
Grazie.
Grazie.